Hey everyone, it's time to close out our 100% Madness Retaliation run with style and grace. All we got left is the Auditor fight. It's a 5-wave fight, just basically increasingly more difficult waves as the fight goes on, until you reach the clones at the very end, made with that DNA in the locker, and that's it. The fight starts once you take it. With this being the only fight in the game that starts on the enemy's turn, so you basically have to do preemptive setup to make sure that you go into the fight with as helpful as a setup as possible for your first turn and surviving the first turn. So that's actually the whole time. This is one of the biggest underlying like things about the game. Like the whole time you go with this guy being the melee guy rather than this guy, because not only does he spawn further out from the center, but eventually because he becomes Hank because he's the melee guy, the reflector, the guy who gets targeted first, it will be on the outside. So in the case of this fight where they start first, on both sides, he will reflect for the side because they will prioritize him because he's up front. And then he is just barely close enough to take out one guy that will be engaging them from this side. So everything is kind of positioned in our favor to begin with, but these two guys are guaranteed guaranteed dead after the first essentially that like enemy turn, because of how I have it set up right now. I have some different setups in mind for how this could happen, with better efficiency, but just more survivability. But that's it's still in the works. I'm gonna drop the Madness Retaliation Runners Room Discord link in the description. Click on it if you want to see some theory crafting. If you want to help out and learn some things and teach some things about the game and get involved with running theory and everything, because this has some nuanced stuff to it. It's this some of these strategies, they popped up a while after I started. So this is basically our setup to give us the greatest advantage right now. That just kind of speeds things along in the Auditor fight, wave one. So here we go. We're gonna just start it up and grind through that fight. There he is, the man himself. So he drops shotgun guys over here, pistol guys over here. He reflects, obviously, because Hank is cool. Yeah, and like forecasted, one of them dies over here due to killing the clown, but we take 2 deaths, which is why we need those 2 PID charges. We usually want around like 6 or so for freedom during this fight, which you'll see later. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have at these guys. We want to stay pretty full health just so we stay at minimal risk for losing anybody. That's pretty critically important because we need to keep those PID charges intact. So we just kind of melee these guys with Hank, take that collateral on that damage sign or that area of effect on that katana, depending on how they're set up. Give him a shot. There we go. So the next wave spawns. And we're going to try to shoot a giant because they have less armor less armor class. There we go. And we can just sponge a lot of damage into them. So here we're going to flash and start our next turn to keep animation time down and risk of death down. Now this is an amazing setup. You can just destroy them. Yeah, they have 48 health, so that's pretty good circumstances right there. Wow, we got really unlucky with this guy in the corner, but it's whatever. So then we're gonna hit these guys up over here. Alright, and then actually we are going to end turn without flashing because they can just kill themselves. Like so. So then we are going to try to take these guys out. And have it to where we can actually have Clown over here for Saucy drop. There we go. And have Hank over here for Saucy drop as well. So that's what this third wave is. We meet a new kind of enemy. Like a lot of this combat just relies on good like off the fly strategic thinking. Like nothing too crazy that you haven't done before. Like all of the rooms that we've been doing up to this point have been pretty like skill reinforcing. Like there's nothing you shouldn't know how to do or points how to allocate. So Saucies get one of your party's weapons at random, and they can only be hurt by that weapon. Not reflected shots of that weapon, like they can't hurt themselves. Unless it's the katana, because reflect katana, it just works for some reason. And I suppose the danger sign would be the same case on Hank. But basically, they can also be hurt by clown explosions, which is why we set him up to be in range of the Saucies on like one of them on either side, usually this one, so that when it goes to fire, it will kill itself on the clown explosion, kind of shortening this this third wave quite significantly. And I keep Hank over here just to reflect, so we don't have to smoke or flash or anything. See, look at that. That's ridiculous. And he's done. Alright, and then we go and to preserve charges, and because these guys don't have very much HP, I think it's like 20, we do 16 here. And hey, we shoot him again, and he's done. Easy as that. So we have 3 charges left to work with, going into the fourth, second to last wave. And this is pretty much the big one. This is the spooky one. All right, so one of them spawned with a rifle. So we're going to try to line up. We need to get these guys away from the clown. We need to get Hank up front, preferably like over here or something. If so here's the thing: if they have a rifle, you want to line up to where like you can try to collateral with as many guys as possible. So we're gonna get them away from the clown so they don't die if he dies somehow after Hank dies somehow. Believe it or not, this is my second take of this because somehow he died and didn't reflect in block, which is pretty insane, considering his stats. But we're going to flash just to stay safe with the only ones that can really attack me being the Saucies. So we're going to end. Okay, so this is lined up to where he'll kill him, yep. And wow, it actually teleported over and killed him too. And wow. It actually ouched him. Okay. That was unexpected. So, Hank actually did die, which is incredibly rare. But it can happen, so this is why we heal up. Remember that. So, what Heavy is going to do... Oh, actually Heavy is stunned because of the clown explosion. Same thing with most of them. So, actually what we're going to do is... Wow, this is actually pretty terrible. And we're just going to flash and play it safe. Okay, and so here's what we do. So, because we have the clown, We're going to step over here. We're going to kill him off because we already did damage to him. And then we're going to step over here so we can kill this guy. And then we're going to pull this guy so he can be in range for the danger sign. See, always think about that strategic positioning. Everything comes back around. And they are all grouped up perfectly to die to him. Easy. And so now you have even one PID charge going into the very final wave. So we finish him off. And here it is. Final wave. Look at all these skills coming together, dude. Look at what a skilled individual you are fighting the final boss. Using your charges smart. Killing cheesing saucies. That's one of the best feelings. Alright. And there we go. Here he is. There, the final wave. So, this is the smartest position for your clown. Just right dead smack in the middle of all three of them, where you will hit all three of them with a clown explosion. Including Hank. So, we're gonna chillax here. We're gonna move Hank over here so they prioritize the clown. And then Hank might come over and we might have a little anime sword battle, but his companions will die instantly, essentially. Like, flashbangs don't work on them. Yeah, so he got stunned from the clown explosion, so then he's within range to die to another explosion. You have pretty much the perfect amount of PID charges for this, so we're just going to walk up. I mean, I didn't even need to move him out of the way because it's over, but he's probably going to reflect it, so he just dies. Or he just dies from the shot. Okay. And it's as simple as that. It's easy. That final wave is, if you cheese it with the clown makeup, it's like pretty much the easiest wave of the entire thing. And they spawn in a fixed position every single time, so the clones are very easy to handle if you just have your clown over there from kind of self-destructing earlier in the wave before. High efficiency, you know? So there's that sweet ending cutscene. As soon as it starts, like as soon as it starts fading to black, that's the end of the run. There you go. You have completed your very own Madness Retaliation 100% speedrun. There it is. Bravo. Congratulations. 100%. You beat the dude. You opened the lockers. Hopefully you didn't forget any. I almost forgot one on my very first run of the entire game. Please don't look at that run. Ironically, it's my most viewed video right now, but that's okay. I'm just glad that it's getting exposure, you know? So that's it. You beat the game. Congratulations. You won. I mean, that's the thing. All the skills culminate till the very end, where you see it all come together, and you whoop on 5 consecutive waves of tough dudes. It really is like a casual player's nightmare. But once you know the cheese and you have the strats and you know where everything's spawning and all that, it's very satisfying to do fast. I like this game as a speedrunning game. It's fun. And the strategy in the final fight and everything, and on the fly stuff that happens, all the re-strategizing and the backups that you have to learn and do, make it very, very, I don't know, like gratifying, you know? At least in my opinion. So, you know how it is. You're all done, and I gotta say it, man. Thank you so much for watching through my entire guide. If you're not just exclusively watching this episode for some reason, or I mean, I presume if you're this far in, I mean, you wanted to learn the entire game, but that's beside the point. Thank you so much for watching, and like always, happy running. You know, I hope you get a good time. I want to see more posts to speedrun.com, you know? I want runs to approve. Somebody get on it, you know? I don't want to be alone here. Yep. All right. So, I guess see you guys on the boards. Happy running.